All right, now you're in business? Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've got a power supply back here, just sitting here. I made a little rack so this thing sits and it doesn't run away. Got a little power supply. And it's basically just a computer power supply that they stuck in this thing. Got all the stuff up so all the dust collects on until we get ourselves a box made. This is the control box for the thing. And guess what? It takes little chips like out of your cameras, out of your video cameras or whatever. That's what the program is stored into, in that thing. You can actually take and download, you download off the computer into this, into that chip, and if you wanted to, you could save each one of them on a chip and keep putting them away. That way, the next time you wanted to run that same thing, rather than have to download it from the computer, come over, plug the chip in, tell the computer run from the chip, and it runs that program, whatever one you had in the thing. What a CNC machine is, this, and there's one up here in the front, these are servo motors. They turn this shaft right here. They're geared on the thing, and they actually turn this thing here so it goes whichever way it's going to go. Up and down is in here. If I can get a hold of it to turn it. I got it up too high, I can't get it in to turn. Then you got one that's down inside this thing. I can't get my hand in there, but it does the same thing as this. When this is powered up, you can't turn them by hand. Right now the power is off, so I can turn them by hand.
They're like gears?
Yeah, there's gears in the thing. They're actually called stepper motors. And what you mean by a stepper motor, again, it's digital. It sends a pulse to it. One pulse moves with one click. However, they're set up to go on the thing. All right. What you have is a USB cable from this, just like on your cameras and everything else. One part plugs into this, the other part plugs into your computer. Then I have this piece right here I'm using as a dust collector to keep the dust out of the power box and all the stuff and all the dust going down inside. We're going to make ourselves a plastic case that goes over this thing. The front side will be able to lift up so you can get in to get to your parts and everything.
It'll be encased in the plastic all the time?
And keep all the dust off the stuff. And this just plugs into your USB. Has to be a USB 2, so I had to get a separate card for that thing. And then I pull up my Shark control program. It's one I was telling you about. And I'm going to come over here and plug this in. I've got a switch back here in the back of this. I can turn this thing on and off. I've got a power strip. I can turn it on and off, which is also your emergency switch. Shuts everything down, and if something's not going right, it's your emergency button. Turn off everything completely. You can also do it on the C-stop on your computer, but if you're not happen to be by the computer, it's easier to get to that button. Shut that button down. All right. I'm going to set this on the jog mode. I'm going to unplug my power supply from the computer. I'm going to bring the computer out here. So I can set this thing on my X. This is the Z, going up and down. I can jog it up. I can jog it down.
Is every click of the button one?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, I can hold it down and then just keep on going. I can also set this to slow, medium, and fast. Right now it's on slow. If I set it to fast, and that's the speed it normally runs on, fast speeds. But my Y, if I want to go bring my Y back and forth the same way with my axis. All right. And then once you have this set up, you actually load from the computer. See this up here on here, it says load G code. So I put that going onto the computer, and I find out what I want to load. And right now I'm going to load the poker table. That's a little pocket thing, all right? I'm going to load that one. We're going to make one of those. And this all grays out. What's it telling me here? How long has been copied to clipboard? What happened?
How come X, Y, and Z's got them specs already up there?
Because that's where it's at.
Oh, that's where it's at.
That's where it's at. Right now, this dark green is great. It's darkened out. As soon as the code all gets loaded into that chip, that'll pop up bright green to tell me that it's already ready to go.
How do you read that? Like it says minus, 0, minus, you know, everyone's got a minus. Is it a minus sign in front of that or what?
Yeah, that's a minus sign.
So it's from 0, it's just the other way?
0, remember, I was showing you on the thing, you'd set up your 0 as the top edge of the board.
Okay, oh, okay, I got you. So that's,
All right. Anything minus is above the board
right,
on your Z.
I got you.
Right now, I'm 2.126 above where the board was the last time I had it in there. And also the Y would be way up here toward the front. But each time you put it in, this thing isn't working right. What's going on here? Something isn't right. Okay, I'm not sure what I got loaded in. Let's check to make sure. Huh. Something happened here. What happened? Yeah, let's load this again. What's going on?
Into the ring.
Huh. Well, something is going on here.
Is it just a poker table?
No.
This thing is very comfortable. I'll tell you that. It's made for looks and comfort. It's made for looks and comfort. Yeah. And that hurts my butt. It's like a trophy wife.
Yeah, that looks better to start off with. It wasn't loaded, so kept getting near it. Okay, now it's popped back up to bright green. Now that part is loaded in. When I'm setting things up, I always like to go to jog because it's kind of, they can keep that. Everybody ever played with one of these things, you can look at the pad and it will be like you tap the go code. I don't want the go code to go. So I always put it on jog when I'm going to put a router bit in there and set up a board on here. While I'm doing that, I'm going to plug the charger back in to keep the computer plugged up. I've got some boards here.
I got some reading cut for
And I'm going to take and plug this thing in, clamp it down. And I've just been doing this thing across this, well, I guess I'll leave it right there where she's touching there.